Hi, this is Mark Littleton, the minister of the Word for the Athens Church of Christ, with today's 3-minute sermon. This week we are looking at Psalm 61, a beautiful psalm written by David that I think will be a tremendous help to us as we deal with anxiety and worry in our lives. One emotion that we're all very familiar with right now during these times we're living in is anxiety. We're anxious about so many things, and we often wonder, what do we do with all of this anxiety? I think David reminds us of some things in Psalm 61 that are very, very helpful to us. I shared one of those things with you yesterday. I want to share another one with you today. It's found at the end of verse 2 down through verse 4, where David reminds us that in the midst of our anxiety, it is possible to know the protection of the Lord. He says at the end of verse 2, "Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you, God, have been my refuge, a strong tower against the foe. I long to dwell in your tent forever and take refuge in the shelter of your wings." David is addressing God, and look at some of the language that he uses in those verses. Rock, refuge, dwell in your tent. And that tent he's talking about was the tabernacle where the presence of God dwelled. Again, he uses the word refuge in verse 4 and shelter of your wings. All of that is the language of protection. David is asking God to protect him in the midst of the circumstances that are causing him anxiety. You see, David recognized in his circumstances, he needed a rock that was higher than he was. David, by this time in his life, was the most important person in any room that he walked into. He was the king of Israel. He was the one everybody was looking to for direction and for inspiration and for guidance and counsel and purpose. David was the man. He was someone the people respected. He was a man of God. And yet he recognized, man, I can't handle this on my own. I need a rock. I need a place of refuge and protection that is higher than I am. And friends, so do you. You may be the person that everybody's looking to in your family and in your workplace and in your community and in your circle of friends. But you can't handle it on your own. You need a rock that is higher than you. And the beautiful thing that David reminds us of in the midst of our anxiety and all those circumstances that cause our anxiety, God will be our rock. He will be our refuge. He will be our shelter. We can dwell in his tent. We can dwell in his presence. He's not going to spare us from all the bad stuff, but he's going to be with us as we walk through every bit of it. That's a good reminder today that I hope will help you as you deal with your anxiety. Lord willing, we will see you again tomorrow for another 3-minute sermon. God bless.